Henry Ford was an important investor who brought innovation to the world with his ideas. He was born in 1863 on a farm in Michigan and loved machines and mechanics from a very young age. The adoration led him to change the automobile industry significantly. His ideas played a big role in the Industrial Revolution in the automobile industry, helping to shape modern transportation. A turning point in Ford's life happened when he met one of the most famous inventors of the 20th century, Thomas Edison. Henry was afraid that his idea would not be accepted when he was working on the invention of a gasoline automobile. During that era, people firmly believed in steam engines as a mode of transportation. Still, Edison was interested in Henry's idea and urged him to continue the work on it. This encouragement was important for Ford as it was the key to his success. Edison's words encouraged him to go ahead and build a gasoline-powered car, which proved to be a turning point in history. The story of Ford's success took a lot of work. It took time to achieve success. Thus, in 1879, when Ford was only 16 years old, he chose his pathway to become an engineer. He left his family farm and went to Detroit to become an apprentice in a machine shop. There, he studied mechanics, and it is reported that the practical experience he gained at this place was the basis for his inventions. Over the years, he changed his occupations and learned valuable new things in his practice. Then, he worked in different technicalities for some years before he secured an opportunity to work for the Edison Illuminating Company in Detroit. That was where his engineering career started to develop in full swing. Employed at Edison's company as an engineer, he continued learning about machinery and devoted his spare time to thinking about inventions. Despite working for many hours, he, as a hobby, used to fix engines and design prototypes. It led him to create his initial automobile, the quadricycle, in 1896. Although quadricycle did not fare well for Ford, it provided proof of the company's engineering capacity. Constructing the first car was the first step in the journey towards a successful automobile. As he experimented with ideas, he honed those ideas and made improvements to his inventions. While this was only the start, it was great for Ford and made him understand that he could construct a much larger company. It was in 1903 that Henry Ford opened up the Ford Motor Company. He not only built cars, but also ensured that the parts of the cars were interchangeable. This made manufacturing faster and cheaper, which improved the manufacturing sector. The first car the company made was the Model A. It was manufactured in a rented building in Detroit. The early success paved the way for even more inventions in the year to come. In its contribution to the Industrial Revolution, the Ford Motor Company made its most valuable input in 1908 when it launched the Model T. This was not just another car, but the first car any ordinary man could afford. It was made in a way that it could be easily repaired if it broke down. The car had a simple design which made it easy to drive. More importantly, Ford's method of assembling the Model T changed the way the car industry operated. The moving assembly line was first introduced at the Highland Park plant in 1913, marking a revolutionary shift in production methods. Rather than having workers move around the factory to gather parts, Ford's system transported the car along the belt while delivering parts directly to the workers. The worker was assigned a specific task to perform as the car passed by, drastically improving efficiency. This approach eliminated the time spent walking between stations, leading to a significant increase in production speed. The impact of the moving assembly line was remarkable. It reduced the time required to build a car from 12 hours and 30 minutes to just 1 hour and 30 minutes. This innovation not only lowered production costs, but also enabled Ford to sell the Model T at a more affordable price. As a result, the demand for cars surged. This enabled Ford to maintain total control from material inputs to finished products and to maintain continuous production. The concept was later used to play essential roles in most large-scale productions. His dedication to bringing change in the world doesn't end here. Another great change in the organizational structure of Ford Motor Company came in 1914 when he decided to increase workers' wages to $5 per day. This was way higher than the industry average wages of that time. Executives made this move, and it came as a shock to the business circle. Most rivals believed that such a wage policy would cost Ford's company a fortune and cause it to go bankrupt. However, he still had his visions of how things were to be done out on the line. He thought that if the workers were paid well, then they would not look for other jobs, and his factory would improve productivity, which was true. Ford's high wages, the introduction of the 40-hour workweek, and paid leave were revolutionary and set the standard for modern labor practices. The company improved its labor turnover, thereby attracting talented and competent workers from all over America and sometimes from other parts of the world. Ford Motor Company had now meant for the workers to be able to buy the cars that it was producing. Some people believed that paying such high wages would exceed the company's budget. However, the opposite happened. The decision was bold, but it worked well for him and helped him to build a loyal team of workers that later aided the company to succeed. During World War II, Ford made military trucks to transport supplies across Europe. After the war, he saw that these trucks could be used for regular people too. In 1948, they introduced F-Series pickup trucks. Earlier trucks were based on cars. These trucks were made specifically for heavy-duty work. Adding to his invention list is the Thunderbird, which was designed to be comfortable for drivers. The Mustang was designed to attract young drivers. It was seen in movies and songs and became one of the fastest-selling cars in history. He introduced Fiesta when the oil crisis made people want fuel-efficient cars. This car became his first big international success, and it broke all sales records in the first year. His other inventions include the Ford Escort and Ford Explorer. These were made according to what people of that era wanted. Ford's role in shaping the automobile industry had a lasting impact on the global car industry and on society as a whole. The major among them was the Ford Motor Company. The $5 policy created by Ford was now taking place on the international level. Within 1927 alone, Ford manufactured more than 15 million Model T cars and an organizational structure that reached the operational level, with 20 manufacturing assembly plants in the US and 21 other plants worldwide. This way, he could export his innovations to other countries that adopted assembly line processing and improved their manufacturing industries. Another notable impact of Ford's factories was the employment of local people in different countries, thereby improving the standard of living of those nations. Cars came to be associated with modernization and advancement. He introduced Ford Sync, a voice-activated system that allows drivers to control their car's features more easily. He has also worked on eco-friendly solutions like electric and hybrid vehicles to reduce their environmental impact. When it comes to safety, Ford has developed many important technologies like Ford Co-Pilot 360, a set of features that help drivers stay safe on the road. They also have focused on improving the customer experience with apps like Ford Pass, which allows people to take control of their cars remotely. The company's marketing strategies have been successful, helping to build brand loyalty and attract customers. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to visit our channel for more amazing content.